name is Brian Piper, and I am the Andrew Mellon Foundation Curatorial Fellow for Photographs here at the New Orleans Museum of Art. And I want to thank you for joining us for this week's Curator Spotlight. I am standing here in Past, Present, Future, building photography at the New Orleans Museum of Art, an exhibition that we opened this winter to celebrate 100 years of photography here at the museum. The past section of the exhibition recreates part of that first traveling show in 1918. And I'm standing now in one of the present galleries, which really focuses on some of the really wonderful acquisitions that have been made in the past 6 or 7 years or so. And today I want to talk a little bit about African American photographers that are in this exhibition. February is Black History Month, as all of you know. So I'm going to focus on some of my favorite objects that are here on the wall in Past, Present, Future. And the first of these is a photograph entitled Dancer Harlem 1925 by James Vanderzee. James Vanderzee was born in 1886 in Massachusetts. He lived for a short time in Virginia, but he's most well known for his studio in Harlem at about 125th Street or on 125th Street. James Vanderzee took advantage or was the beneficiary of large numbers of Southern and rural African Americans moving to cities, some in the north, some in the south during the Great Migration. But a number of them would come to James Vanderzee's studios to sort of showcase their new lives in New York and specifically in Harlem. James Vanderzee was selling African Americans positive and affirmative images of themselves at a time when larger mainstream or white visual culture was very demeaning. So these are really great affirmative and aspirational images, but even though they're commodities and products that James Vanderzee is selling people, he has a real eye for creative expression and embellishment. He's known for his painted backdrops in a lot of his images, props, some of which are real and some of which are not, and then the embellishment of a lot of costumes. They have a real theatricality to them. So this is a dancer that he photographed. He also would do calendar shoots, as in like scenes that he would make up and sell calendars. He was also famous for doing funeral portraits where he would make combination prints where it would seem as if you were attending your own funeral. So James Vanderzee, one of the great studio photographers of the 20th century, most popular between the two world wars, but then he had a resurgence in the late 60s of his career, photographed a lot of celebrities like Basquiat, different actors, things like that. So I'm going to swing around and do a little dance with you guys here. We're going to the next gallery, and we're going to stop here and look at a photograph by Gordon Parks. Gordon Parks, perhaps the greatest known African American photographer of the 20th century. He started out working for the government, the US government, during the New Deal, but he was the first African American photographer to be on the staff of Life magazine. And in the early 1950s, when he started working for Life, he worked on a project with author Ralph Ellison that didn't quite come to fruition, but in 1952, he made a series of photographs for a piece called A Man Becomes Invisible, based, of course, on Ellison's masterpiece, Invisible Man. And so in this photograph, you see a scene from both the beginning and the end of that novel where the nameless protagonist has retreated and waiting for his next act in actually a coal hole in New York City. And he has installed over 1,300 light bulbs and is getting power from Con Edison, listening to jazz music, and eating his favorite dessert, which was vanilla ice cream with slow gin poured on top. So it's a very literal interpretation of that moment. One thing that's wonderful about this photograph is this is a combination print, and I mentioned that previously. But what that means is Parks put together two negatives, one of the city skyline and one of this stage set that he made of the protagonist of Invisible Man, and printed them together into one photograph. This is really rare for Gordon Parks. For most of his career, he made what we call straight photographs, unmanipulated pieces of reality. But this is a combination print, and it's a really great object. In 2013, the New Orleans Museum of Art did a very successful exhibition called Gordon Parks, The Making of an Argument, and as a result of that relationship, this photograph was a gift from the Gordon Parks Foundation. We'll make one more stop over here. This photograph is called It's the Real Thing. It's by Hank Willis Thomas. Thomas works a great deal with popular culture, advertising, marketing, in his art, which includes photography as well as sculpture and installation pieces. But in this piece, which comes from his series Unbranded, Reflections in Black by Corporate America 1968 to 2008, he's taken a advertisement and removed all of the corporate logos and the branding. You might be able to tell from the title it's the real thing and some of the details that this was a Coca-Cola advertisement from 1978. But by stripping this advertisement of all of its logos and those sort of things, a few things become clear. It seems even more artificial. I mean, these young men are playing basketball, or were playing basketball perhaps, but all of their socks and shoes are remarkably unscuffed. But he's also calling attention to the ways that stereotypes of race, gender, and age are used throughout this period, 1968 to 2008, to market to people. The ways that our ideas about race, be they stereotypes or identity, are commodified. And so that's a long conversation in a lot of Hank Willis Thomas's work. This is a great piece that came into the collection in 2017. So I think we have time for one more. Is that right? Okay. So I'm going to invite you around the corner to our future section. And the future section of this exhibition celebrates a couple of recent bequests from Tina Freeman and also from the estate of Russell Albright. This is one of a photograph that was given to us by the collection of H. Russell Albright. And this is a photograph by Lorna Simpson, which is called Call Waiting, number 6, 1997. And Lorna Simpson, in a lot of her conceptual work, explores ideas about race and gender in her own lived experience as an African-American woman. She'll often combine image and text. You'll see that she silk-screened a phrase on this mat that she put around the photograph herself. It says, "Call for her, 4:33 p.m." And this is a still photograph that was produced in conjunction or during the making of her 1997 film, which was entitled Call Waiting. I do believe it's available in Vimeo if you want to check it out. But it's about 18 minutes, and through the course of the film, a number of young, incredibly diverse cast of New Yorkers participate in a series of phone conversations that are repeatedly broken up by incoming calls, back when call waiting was a thing. But they speak all different languages and have a whole manner of experiences. It slowly becomes apparent that they're all romantically or sexually involved. So it's dealing with a lot of those issues of their identity and how young people in the late 90s are experiencing that as part of their lives in New York, I think. But in this standalone photograph, one thing I really like about it is it really invites the viewer to imagine a narrative for this bartender who is holding a phone call for the woman who's out of focus at the end of the bar. It has a bit of mystery and anticipation to it that really draws you in as a viewer. But I think what one of the larger points we might say is encouraging us to think about how we construct stories for people that we see every day and what sort of stereotypes and ideas we pull into that without even talking to them. So that's all I have today. I hope you'll join us next week for our next Curator Spotlight here at NOMA, and that'll be at Monday morning. We'll see you next week.